Leading up to any budget is always a cause for concern, as we always wonder what is going to change. We expected more tax changes to arise in the spring 2021 budget due to the cost of COVID, but this did not arise, and I believe this is because we are not yet through this pandemic. The Chancellor decided instead to concentrate on kickstarting the economy, encouraging investment and spending. I will explain in more detail one area that we thought would change, which hasn't as of yet, and explain why we are pleased that hasn't. Relief for pension contributions. Although the lifetime allowance has been frozen, currently all pension contributions are tax-free, subject to an income threshold and an annual allowance which is currently £40,000. But this is not all. Pension contributions can be made by your company or individually. They also save tax at the corporation tax rate, basic rate, higher rate, and even the additional rate, which is 45%. They are also flexible, so you can make monthly pension contributions, or alternatively you could make a one-off lump sum payment. We are allowed to carry forward unused annual allowance for up to 3 years, which means the lump sum you are able to pay may be quite considerable. This may be very useful if you have one-off additional profits in your company. You may wish to invest in your pension to reduce the profits and the subsequent tax. Equally, an individual may sell an asset at a large gain, and also by reinvesting some of the proceeds into a pension, they are able to extend their basic rate band. Also, at the age of 55, you are currently entitled to withdraw 25% of your pension pot as a tax-free lump sum, which is great, and thereafter you can manage the amount you take from your pension, thereby managing the rate of tax to a rate that you are happy to pay. On death, the remainder of your pension pot is outside of your estate for inheritance tax purposes. If this had been held as cash, it would now be subject to tax at 40%. So why may the Chancellor wish to change this? The government are keen for us all to save for our retirement to put less stress on the state pension. However, the current regime could be seen to favour the wealthy, as they receive the highest rate of tax relief and also may be the only ones able to utilise the annual allowance. Also, there is some disparity between the tax relief obtained when making contributions to the rates of tax paid when withdrawing pension payments. Ideally, you would wish to obtain higher rate relief when making the contributions and then pay either zero or basic rate tax when withdrawing your pension. How could this change? The annual allowance could be reduced from the current £40,000 to something more like £10,000. Also, the ability to carry forward unused allowance could be removed, and also the rate of tax relief obtained could be restricted, maybe to basic rate, or maybe even a single rate of tax relief, say 25%, could be applied to everyone, which would mean basic rate taxpayers would win and higher rate taxpayers would lose. In conclusion, because people thought a revision to the tax relief on pensions was on the cards, many people have attempted to utilise their annual allowances, thereby removing money from their businesses and thereby reducing the amount of money they've got to invest in the economy. Similarly, many of our clients have exited their businesses a lot earlier than they wished to, because they're worried about the rates of capital gains tax increase. And again, this has just had the effect of removing experience from an economy that we are attempting to kickstart. So do we expect these changes to be implemented? We do think it is likely. When is dependent on our route out of the pandemic.